Hi everyone, let's go ahead and see how you can start working with the date time in Pandas data frame. So first of all, we need to import date time, and then we will see how you can convert this date time as a Pandas date time data object. So you can import date time as import date time as dt. Then you can refer here dt.date. And in this, if you pass here the number, suppose that this is like 2019 and you have here 1 so 2019 is year, this is the month, and this is day. So it is something like this: year, and then you have a month, and then you have a date. Alright, so that's the notation here to get this. And if you print it, if you run it, you will see it. Sorry, it's not a df, it's in fact a dt. So the dt.date, now it becomes here a date time data object here. And if I say it is as the someday and I run it, and then on the someday you can get here by typing year. What is the year? Year is 2019. On this someday you can also get the month and someday, and then you can get also the day here. If you run it, you will see there year is 2019, month is 1, and day is 1, whatever we had given here. If you make it 10, now you see there the month is 10 here and day is still 1. You can make it like 21, so you will be getting it something like that. Alright, so here you have a someday. Alright, let's say if you want this date time object as a string, then you can simply cast this as a str. So now you will see there this date time object is converted as the str, and default formatter of the date is hyphen here. So you have a year hyphen month and then hyphen day. Alright, so we are doing this by using a date time object here, but you can also use here a pandas as well to do the same thing. So I'm just going to copy it from there and then I'm going to put it here. Then I say here pd, that's the pandas dot date time. Alright, so if I do something like that, pd dot to date time actually. So there, if you do something like that and you then print your date time, you will be getting it something like that. Okay, so the one thing we are missing here, this now we need to pass as the string. So that one I'm gonna pass it from here, so as a string. Now if you do that, now you see there the difference is here. Earlier we had it as the date time, and right now we are having it as the timestamp. So the timestamp is here as the 2019, 10 and the 21. Alright, so in this date time you see there the timestamp, it is also showing here hour, minute and second as well. Since it is just a date, so it has taken like 12 o'clock in the midnight or 00 hour in the midnight. Alright, so that's how you can do. And then again on the someday you can apply the same thing what we used to do earlier there, like someday.year and then someday.month and then someday.day. So all these you can print it here separately. Alright, let's go ahead and see how you can do the pandas timestamp here. So let's say you have here pd dot timestamp there, and in this timestamp, once again I'm just gonna say it like with the hours and minute as well. This time I'm gonna say here 1 o'clock and then I say 13 minute and 21 second. Now if you run that, you will be getting here a timestamp which have a date time as well, I mean date and time together. Alright, let's suppose that if you have a list of the string, then how you can convert those list of string into the date time. So let's say you have here a dates, and these dates are like the 2023, like 10/01, and then similarly I have here the first week of the October month, something like that. So these are the dates. Now I'm just gonna convert it to the date time. So I say here pd dot to date time, and then I put here the dates. Now you will be getting here a date time index, and these are converted as the date time, and that you can verify it with the date with the data type, and the data type it is saying that it is date time. All right. So if you have a string date time and you want to convert it as the date time object, you can simply use here pd dot to date time. But suppose that if you have here some some non-convertible numbers, then how would you do that? Suppose that something like that, if you try to convert it, you will see there it is saying that NAT. The reason is here by default when you see there this error, this one here, you see these errors are these errors are passed as the range. All right, and since it is NaN, and if you pass it here as hello, you will be getting the error. So earlier it was NaN, so NaN string by default treated as the not a time, that is NAT. But if I pass it something else, something like that, you will be getting the error. So to avoid those error, you can put it here errors equal to coerce. All right. So if you put it something like that, these error will not come there. All right. And wherever these errors are thrown, those will automatically get converted to NAT. It doesn't matter what value you put it here, it will automatically get converted to NAT. Alright, let's go ahead and see how you can generate a date time index with some particular frequency. Suppose that you want to generate dates between some range of dates. Once again, I want to generate a date between something like 1st October to 20 October, not the 20 October, but 20th 11, that is the November. So 20th November to 1st October 2023. So I want this range in between these. How you can do that? You can simply write here pd dot date range. In that you can pass these two numbers, and then you can pass here the frequency. So what frequency we want? If I put it here D, then each day will be generated here. You see the 1st October, 2nd October, and so on. And the last one is here the 20th October, 20th November 2023. But if you put it here 7D, now you will be seeing there a weekly basis date range will be generated here. If you put here a 2D, then you will see there a 2 days, that's the alternate days, 1st October, 3rd, 5th and 7th, something like that. You can also put it here a month, so that it will generate here, the month wise, since there is only 1 month between the gap of 1st October to 20th November. So it has generated here just a single month there. All right. So in this case, you need to give here start and end date, but there are other methods where you don't need to put the start and end date, but you can just specify the start date and then it will automatically generate your date range. For example, let's say if you want to generate 10 days ahead from the 20th November 23, then how would you do that? It is like that, pd dot date range, something like that. So the pd dot date range, and then you have here the periods equal to 10, something like that. So what you get here, you have a pd dot date range 20th November 2023 and period 10. That means it has here 10 days gap. All right, it's not the gap, actually it is generating days for the next 10 days. There again you can define here the frequency. So if I say here day, it's gonna generate 10 days ahead. If I put here a 2D, once again it is going to give you total 10 numbers, but the difference between these dates will be 2. So you see the difference between this and that. wherever I was putting if 2D, so the total number of date range was getting reduced, but here the date range is exactly the same like the 10 date range, but the difference between those dates are defined by this frequency. If I put it here M, you will see there a 10-month period will be generated. So the first month period is 30/11, another one is the 31/12. Now you see here it has also taken care that the maximum date in a month. So in November it is 30th November, but in December it is 31st December. And similarly you see there in the February it is 29th February in 2023. Sorry, it's 2024 actually. So in 2024 it will be the 29th day in the February. Alright, this is all about in this lesson. Thanks a lot for watching this. I'll see you in next one.